come on here and share how I got involved in my online business because since last September, maybe November, I've been talking a lot about this, online business, start an online business. I'm on an online business. This online business is so amazing. And I haven't really shared much about that. And the lives are so beautiful because I can come and just speak directly to you and you can get a real sense of myself and what I'm doing and what's going on. But I wanted to share because the online business that I'm a part of, that's the thing, the online business term is so broad. It's such an umbrella term because literally you can make anything an online business. You can make anything an online business. You just do your business online, but the business that I'm doing is very specific. And, when I first started it, it wasn't something that I had only then came across. So I started last November, but this was not the first time I had come across the centerpiece of the business. So when I talk about having an online business, like I said, it's a very broad term, but what we're doing very specifically is we're selling water ionizers. We're selling, Kangen water machines. I first was introduced to Enagic is the company name, and Kangen water when I lived in Minneapolis in 2012, I think it was 2010, 2011, I don't know, around that time, over a decade ago. And I was dating a guy at the time, and we were going to some, woo-woo bookstore, and a guy was set up doing a Kangen water demo. And he showed us the pH of the water, he showed us the antioxidant levels of the water. My partner at the time was so stoked and into this. He was like, yes, give me all this water. We walked out with jugs of this water, and he was just totally into it. And I was just kind of along for the ride. And we for the next couple weeks, kept going back and finding this guy who had this water, and we'd fill up. And then my boyfriend at the time, he was like, I'm getting a machine. And then we were introduced to the business. So these water ionizers, this Kangen water, it's just a water ionizing company that's been around for 40 years. Electrolyzed reduced water. You can look it up. There's all sorts of research in terms of health. It's amazing for your health. It's amazing for your body. And that's what we were sold on initially. But then we found out there was a business side to it. Enagic is the company. They don't do marketing, advertising. It's all word of mouth referral. So we learned about the business side of it. And again, my boyfriend at the time was like, let's do this. I'm into it. And I was just like, okay, along for the ride, At that stage in my life, I had just started to dive into some inner deep work, self-investigation, yoga, and he knows what's up. I started to really kind of dive into myself and question myself and figure out who am I, and changing everything of myself, really just started living some new patterns and behaviors. And so my focus definitely was on how do I become the most effective version of myself? How do I become the best version of myself? And so I was really interested in business and how to make money, because that was a thing too. I was all about self-improvement to improve the state of the world. And, that also included improving my relationship with money. So I was like, yeah, okay, cool. Let's do this water thing. Let's sell the machines. Let's make this happen. Right away, I faced all the fears about sales and talking to people and being in front of groups of people doing demonstrations. At the time, our mentor and coach was very he was a bull when it came to sales, and he was doing cold calls, and he was probably doing door to door. He had no shame. And I had so much resistance to that stuff. I remember he had me call a family member one time and talk to them about this water, and I was so physically uncomfortable. It was kind of how I felt before I came on this live, just I was gonna vomit everywhere. And so yeah, it was just a different place back then. And I think we did it for a little bit. We were working out of a nutrition store. I had made one sale to my brother, and we were doing demos here and there, but there was just something in me that wasn't ready for all of that. So I kind of let it go, and I kept the machine. I love the water. The water was incredible. It's still, I still have family in Minneapolis that have the machine. When I moved to Canada, I didn't bring it with me. I just left it back with the family. And so yeah, I kind of got into the business a little bit, and then I was like, it's not really for me right now. And then fast forward 2022, 9, 10, 11 years later, I'm living in this random part of the world I'd never heard of, Squamish, British Columbia, and met a friend who I went over to her house and I saw a Kangen water machine on her counter, and I was like, hey, you have a Kangen water machine. Oh my gosh, I love Kangen water. And it just like all this stuff came back to me in terms of how amazing the water is and wanting it back in my life. And that wasn't the first time, over the years I would think about getting a machine and, kind of wanting that water in our life. I have a son now and obviously my partner. It's like the water is like it's the best water you could be drinking. So it's like, I kind of wanted the water. But when I saw the machine, it was the business that came back to me like, oh yeah, this business, like the water, is very special. It's got some very special properties to it that just like reignited in me when I saw it. And so I talked to my friend. I was like, well, where did you get that machine? Connected with the girl whose machine it was. And she was saying, oh, the business has changed. We're doing it all online now. And it like, again, was just like this so exciting for me because I was like, great, that makes so much more sense. I don't want to be like even though I'm talking live right now, it's like, I don't want to be talking in front of all these people, doing demonstrations. Like, I want to utilize the internet to, the way she was talking about it, she was like, it's this automated system that we have. We just, create this system and people just kind of move through it. And I was like, oh my God, that just sounds amazing. I want to do that. I, though, was at a place in my life where I had my son. He was, a year and a half. And, after having my son, I went through some major transformational things. All this time, like I mentioned, I was doing all this inner self work. I was doing all this like deep inner self-reflection, self-change. And then after having my son, of course, I was brand new. I was a new mother. I was a new person. And I was reborn. Literally felt like I was reborn. And so I was in a whole new space and environment within myself and learning, like, who am I? What do I want? What do I want to do? So when this business came to me, I had already been for months getting clear on what it is I wanted in my life. And it's like, I don't want to work for someone else 9 to 5, this whole rat race system that we've set up where it's like we give our whole life to work for a job so that we can have a house and food. And what? Like, I have always been such a visionary and an idealist in terms of like, I want more for myself. I want way more for myself and I don't want to settle. And I feel like I had for a long time settled in my life. So when I saw this machine and this business opportunity come back, I was so fucking excited because I was like, this is it. This is what I've been working for. Because when I first came across this company, in 2000, whenever it was, 10, 11, 12, I was not in a place within myself to really share this water and to have my own business. I didn't even think about what it would take to have your own business until like 3-4 years ago. I have always worked for someone. I have always been like the type to tell me what to do. I don't really I had to learn how to become self-directive. I had to learn how to be a leader. I had to learn how to believe in myself to think that I could want more for myself and could create more for myself. So when I came across this company, again, this business opportunity, I was so fucking excited. It was online. I was like, yeah, that makes sense, of course. So I dove right in. I've always been very impulsive. If something feels right, I just go for it. And this was such an amazing thing that opened up in my life at such a unique and special time in my life. And it just seemed like I can't help but feel like there was some kind of divine timing in all of this in terms of how this machine came into my life. And I wasn't where I wanted to be within myself yet to really I passed on the opportunity. I didn't believe in myself. It was hard to me. I didn't, whereas I see it now and I'm like, oh, I was made for this. I get to connect with people. I get to encourage people to believe that they can create something more for their life. And I can encourage and inspire people to think outside of the box of what we've created as our system, as normal, life. I can inspire people to think bigger. I can encourage people to actually change their life and change their health and change their wealth. Sign me up, So it's just interesting to see it come full circle for me. And so when this company came back, I was totally in and on board. I invested right away and, rebought a machine, and, I've been working at getting myself set up and running online with the business since. And so the beautiful thing about the community that I signed up under, the girl who had the machine that was at my friend's house, her and her partners set up this amazing online community with step-by-step training and guidance of this is exactly what you do to set up an automated business online, and this is how you make your money. And it was so amazing for me, someone who was coming from the employee mindset, someone who had never thought about owning her own business, someone who had never worked for herself. It was exactly what I needed to step into to okay, you tell me what to do, because I don't know what to do. I don't know how this stuff works. I'm not a tech savvy person. I don't like being on my computer all the, besides creating content and stories and ads is really fun. The creative element is really good. The whole tech side of it, which there is that, I don't like that stuff. But they lay it out so easy in this 6-week business launch guide that it's just it's just easy. It's just they tell you what to do and you do it, and then it's set up and then you're done. So I've just been busy with that, and obviously coming on my social media a bunch and just talking about this online business that I'm a part of. I just wanted to come and share what more specifically it is and how I got involved and just what it is, basically. And so yeah, it's exciting because this is the time for everybody. The opportunity for anyone to start an online business is now. From my perspective, no one is stuck where they are. Anyone can create success for themselves, and online is so efficient because you have such a big global marketplace. There's literally billions of people online. So in terms of the saturation of the market, that's not going to happen. There's billions of people online. So you just have way more access to people and clients and customers, and, the creative aspects of doing content and stories and just the fulfillment of creating something, but then also expressing yourself and sharing yourself. It's such a, checks so many boxes for me that I didn't realize I wanted, even this, as terrifying as it is to come and do a live, it's so exciting too, because I fucking love talking to people. I love encouraging people. The reason I think I will be successful in this business is because I've empowered myself in so many ways in my own life that I know anyone else can do this. And as I believe in myself in doing this business, I'm gonna believe that anyone else can do this too. So that's why I'm gonna make a great fucking business partner and mentor and coach. Because I don't care what you say, I'm going to believe anyone is able to do this. You are literally able to do this. If you make a decision and commit, there is nothing you can't do. I truly, truly believe that. But the one thing that I've realized recently is that this is not for everybody. Not everyone is comfortable standing in this role or wanting to create their own business, And so I am really just here for those that are, knowing that there's something more. We can create something more, and that we don't have to be tied or tethered to some, outside force that we need to get money from so that we can live. We can create that ourselves. We can actually create and sustain our own wealth purely from ourselves, not getting it from anything outside of us. We can actually set that up. This is the day and age we live in. How fucking fortunate and blessed are we that we have access to the internet and all these resources that allow us to do this. So I'm really excited to just connect with people who want to change their life and are tired of accepting this idea that we have to work our life away. We have to work 40, 50, 60, 70 years of our life for what? For, getting by living week to week, paycheck to paycheck, to maybe have a vacation once a year, maybe see family here or there. No, man, you know what I'm trying to create? I'm trying to create absolute fucking freedom in every sense of the way. I want to be free to go where I want, when I want, how I want, with who I want. Call me spoiled brat, I don't care. I want what I want when I want it. And it's really such a strong passion in me now. There is no turning this train around, I am creating this, and that's why I'm so excited about this business, because this business, I know that it can do that for me. The business is not questionable. You know, it's like, it's not the product that's questionable. It's not the business model that's questionable. The only thing that's going to prevent, you know, me or anyone else from actually creating an income stream for themselves in this way online, where it actually sets them free, I mean, is us. That's the only thing standing in the way, is by us not doing the steps that have been proven to create this for other people. That's the thing. Like, I'm not reinventing any wheel here. I'm not creating anything from scratch. This is like a system that's proven to work. And, you know, the thing too about online businesses is that people can sell the idea of an online business, but then that's just what they're selling, is an idea of an online business. There's a real product here that it can actually change your physical experience and body, and like, you know, in terms of not only transforming your body if you have like disease or illness, but it can actually prevent, you know, like things, you know, like this is the product is not questionable, the business model is not questionable. It just really comes down to self, and what does self want? Like, what do you want out of life? And for me, I want so much more than what I've accepted and allowed. And I've known that for so long. And that's why I've been working so hard on my own self-transformation for so long, because I've known forever that there's been more to this life. You know, like I remember being like 20, 21, you know, like wondering, what the fuck are we doing? Why do we exist this way? What is this like machine we exist within, where we're just like going through the motions? Like, where's, like, I don't know, it just seemed really off to me. And so, you know, I've been on quite a, you know, process of transformation. And so, you know, to be here now where it's like I've done the inner work and now I have this external point that I can create and really, like, you know, it's like I feel wealthy on the inside, but now I have something to create the wealth on the outside. It's a really fucking exciting time. And I just want to connect with anyone who like wants to make more out of their life and knows that there's more out of their life and know that there's more from themselves, because like I said, ultimately it's going to come down to you and who you accept and allow yourself to be. Like, you can change your life. You can have everything you want in life. You can experience whatever you want in life. You can do whatever you want in life. You can have absolute free choice in life. At the moment, for most of us, that means having enough money. You can have that. There is nothing actually standing in your way from creating that except you and your beliefs about money and about freedom and about what life is supposed to be. So I'm breaking all that down. I'm like, that's why I'm here, to just show a way that's possible for anyone to step into and completely change their life and elevate themselves into a greater potential that they know is available to them. So fun to express. So thanks for listening and yeah, receiving me. I appreciate that. Yes, Masters of Life. So yeah, that's why I'm here. And I know that's why you're here. So awesome to still be connected with you. Thanks again for being here and walking with. And see you next time.